Hey, Ray Del Vecchio here from Website Profit Course. And today I want to talk about online business versus local freelancing. Pretty much everybody who works from home tends to ascend this same business ladder. And step one is that you provide a service, and most beginners charge hourly for their work. So in this case, you're providing your time to the client, and the client is paying you for that time. All the services that I've provided with local freelancing come down to website marketing, web design and creating WordPress websites, managing that website, taking care of the tech side, as well as getting into the marketing side like social media and online advertising. And I think you got to work with maybe 3 to 5 clients. And once you do, you'll find some similarities and differences with those clients. A lot comes down to the niche, but you'll see how certain clients value maybe one aspect of the service you provide, while another one ignores that, but they value something else. Really, the goal is to try and figure out how you can take what you did with those first 3 to 5 clients and turn that into a product. This is where you might define your niche, create some kind of set package for a price, and in that way, you're not renting out your time. Instead, you're selling them on the value, and they're giving you money for that. And on the back end, it's your job to become more efficient with your service. You can either outsource, really do none of the work. Once you come up with the process, get somebody else to do that, or you can just become more efficient with it through tools. Something that takes you 5 hours today might take you an hour in a couple of months once you refine your process. And of course, the problem with hourly work is that you don't earn that extra money when you become more efficient unless you raise your price. And if somebody's set on a price of, say, $50 an hour, if you raise that to $100, that's going to seem like crazy increase. But if you sell them on the value of what they're going to get out of it, they're much more likely to pay you that. And I find this just helps because people want to know a one-time price. And if you can wrap in your services into that one-time cost, don't leave that uncertainty where they're not going to know how long it's going to take you with hourly work. It really is better for everybody. And really, the last step is selling completely online. I think this is a lot of people's goal. I mean, I know it was my goal. My journey started with just getting interested in websites and how they worked. Eventually, I saw how people earned online. I started creating my own WordPress blogs to try and create passive income. A lot of that failed, and I decided to offer website creation as a service. That's how I started with my freelancing business. After I had my base of local clients, I started branching out and creating content online. And the big difference here is that you're providing value through content as opposed to one-on-one value with a client. So that content could obviously be a blog post, an email, a video like this, a webinar. There's a lot of different ways you can package up content. And the customer or the client on the other end, they have to find that content, and it has to either entertain or help them. And then from that content, you're going to look at the data. That could be analytics on your website, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, your email list. And then over time, you will get money from that client or your audience, whatever you want to call that person. And they buy something off you or through your recommendations without a one-on-one interaction. I mean, that's really the biggest difference between online business and local business, is that you're probably not going to get a local client, or it's going to be a lot harder if you're not willing to do the face-to-face interaction or phone calls. Whereas with online, none of that's required. In fact, I'm looking at my spreadsheet with one of my products, which is a web design business plan membership that gives you tools and training to create and manage WordPress websites for local clients. I've processed over 1,300 payments. And again, that's without any one-on-one interaction. Obviously, I've had email threads with some of my customers. And the good thing about this is that I do have a lot of people that contact me through my YouTube channel, but I don't have the time anymore to respond to everybody. So I do reserve that to my paying members. But a lot of people that pay online, they want to do things on their own schedule, on their own terms. They may purchase something and get to it a couple weeks down the road, tackle it when they have free time. So it's a lot more of an asynchronous thing. And I think one of the hard things to understand is how long it can take for somebody to pay you. So I've had some people on my email list that have been there for 3 or 4 years before they actually become a paying member or create their website through one of my affiliate links. There's really no way to figure out when somebody's going to buy when you're not doing the one-on-one interaction and selling to them face-to-face. So overall, it is much less of a direct sales process with online business. And it's hard to say which one's better. They both have their pros and their cons. So in my opinion, I think that if you want to get the fastest results, local freelancing is the way to go. There's much higher trust with somebody when you have a face-to-face conversation with them. They get to see you as opposed to so many online providers which are across the country or even across the world nowadays. So with local freelancing, you're way more likely to hang on to clients for a long period of time. In fact, two of my first clients ever back in, I would say 2009, 2010, that's about when I started working with them. They've stayed with me up until today, and there's really no end in sight. I mean, they're going to continue working with me because we have that kind of relationship, and I've taken good care of their online property since then. But clearly there's a limit to how many human interactions you can have, and especially me as an introvert. One of the reasons that I've never gone into building a full-scale digital agency is because I don't want to have 10 employees and 150 clients that are calling all the time, every day, putting out fires here and there, managing people. I don't really want to do all that kind of stuff. My ideal way to do business is much more like a computer programmer, where I like to sit down on my computer with a coffee, do my work uninterrupted, turn my phone on silent. And I actually prefer doing one-on-one meetings, whether it is through Zoom or just in person, going to a coffee shop or going over to my client's place if they have an office. I would say those are the two modes that I work best in. I'm not really somebody who wants to be on the phone all day or be in meetings all day. Of course, online business is more scalable. You can make those sales passively. That's what everybody searches for, passive income. And I kind of think that's a lie. I made a video about that a few years ago, because the amount of upfront work that you have to do in order to get passive income, you have to account for that. And it's very unlikely that you're going to make a ton of money with just 3 or 6 months of work. And of course, that's what every marketer does in ads. They try and sell you on making $10,000 a month within the next 6 months. And for 95% of people, that's just not going to happen. And I think the biggest thing is the unpredictability of online business. Now, this is mitigated to some degree if you have the money for paid traffic, but obviously most people aren't going to pay for ads when they're first starting out. They're looking for that organic traffic. And that comes down to algorithms, which you have no control over. Not to mention that every single platform usually gives you a lot of organic traffic in the first handful of years that they're active. And then once they build their own ad platform on top of it, they're going to give you less organic traffic and you're going to have to pay for it. That's happened with Google, Instagram, Facebook, and I'm sure it's going to happen with TikTok, Snapchat. They all have their own ad platforms. You almost need to be on the newest platform to go viral, so to speak, and get that uneven traffic. But if you're in it long enough, you're going to see people complaining about the algorithms on every one of these social networks, and I'm no exception. The whole idea of getting burnout online is huge nowadays, and it's very true because you have to post, in some cases, every day if you're doing the more basic posts like Instagram, or if you're doing longer form content, maybe once a week. But really, if you do less than that, it's hard to get traffic. And you feel like you're always on the hamster wheel, always having to come up with ideas, even if they're not great ideas. You're pushing out content that might not necessarily be the best that you could produce. So even though the whole passive income dream sounds like a great idea, there's so many challenges that come with it, which most of the people leave out when they're trying to sell you on the dream. So if there's one final takeaway, my recommendation is that you start with local freelancing, create a base of clients that pay you monthly, and that'll give you your floor with making money from home, where you can count on that month after month. On top of that, with me, a lot of the things I've learned with my online business, I started with a client. I never would have started running ads unless my clients wanted to. So I learned the entire Google ad system and part of the Facebook ad system, which I haven't used very frequently, but I learned that through managing client ads, and I was able to implement that into my online business. So freelancing is a way to get paid to test and learn new things. And then lastly, to mitigate against those algorithm changes and the unpredictability of online business, you got to create assets that you control. And the two most important are your website and your email list. If you do get great results from organic on social, you want to get those people on your email list so you can stay in contact with them without any algorithm being the middleman as to who you reach and who you don't. The website is a place where you can publish everything, and you want to get everybody to your website where you have your email list sign up forms, you have your content on your website, you got all your social links. So the website is the hub of your online presence. And then on top of that, if you can make your own products, whether they are physical products or just digital products. Those are the ones you have control over and you make the most profit from. There's tons of other ways to make money online. I earn through affiliate marketing, which is where you promote other people's products, but that also can change. For instance, a couple years ago, one of the biggest affiliate programs on the web is Amazon's. You can promote Amazon products and get a cut if somebody buys through your link. But they rolled out an update where in some categories, they reduced the commissions by 80%. So some of the websites that only monetize through Amazon, they got wiped out. And this happens every single year. Something changes. And if you don't have control over your online business, if you're relying too much on one platform or one source of income, it can really destroy you. So I hope this video was helpful in understanding the differences between those two business models. And I got some help for you for each of these. If you want a cheat sheet for the 15 tools that you can use to start your web design business, you can grab that from my homepage, websiteprofitcourse.com. And if you'd like to build your own website, I have free WordPress training. I'll show you exactly how to get set up and explain how you can manage a website, just like I do with my clients. We'll dig into the high-level overview of everything, as well as step-by-step tutorials that you can use to get set up. And you can find that from websiteprofitcourse.com/WP101. And I'll also link these up in the description below. Last but not least, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you have experience in either of these business models, freelancing locally or online, let me know in the comments below. I'd like to hear your story of whether it's success or some big change that you didn't see coming that affected you. And make sure you subscribe to my channel to get future videos like this one. Thanks for sticking around to the end, and I'll link up a couple other videos here if you want to keep on learning.